Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the analysis or the arrow map that you guys like so much of the Ukrainian counteroffensive, the secret plan of the Ukrainian counteroffensive. So this is just an analysis because when we talk, there's a lot of talk about the Ukrainians going on the counteroffensive in the spring offensive, so-called. Somehow there's supposed to be a winter offensive, and then that didn't come, and then now we are talking about like spring offensive, and there is a lot of things that suggest that the spring offensive might not be able to happen because of the lack of heavy equipment. But let's entertain the fact that maybe they could. So first, before we can get there, we need to first identify what is exactly happening right now, and this is the latest map of the situation over in the Bakhmut front, and we have the Russian forces currently attacking in multiple directions. They are attacking from the south, the southwest, and the north. They are attacking at Kromove. They are attacking the road leading to Chasivya. This is Chasivya, and attacking Ivaniske, and they are attacking around Klishevka. And further up north, they also are attacking Krychorivka. This one is actually this is what's this place? Krychorivka. Oh, sorry, this what is it called? Let me see. Bodanivka, and then they are attacking. This is Orikovo Vasilivka. They are attacking towards Privilia, and yeah, just generally in this direction. And they have captured Zaliniansky. And further away, we actually also see the Russians are attacking Vasilkivka region. This is this location is called Fedorivka, and then they're attacking Rozdolivka. They're attacking Vasily, and yeah, this is the important part, the one that we are focusing on. So we can see this is what is happening, and what is if you have watched the other video about the secret plan of the Wagner forces, likelihood that the Russian forces is actually trying to hit down this road and capture Alexandrivka in this way, and they might actually also expand outwards and to cut off the road so that the Ukrainian forces cannot reinforce the Siversk region, the Siversk front. And on the other hand, they also will be pushing towards the canal and then flank to the rear of Chasivya. And there's this push also towards Petachine. They will actually push towards and try to put pressure on Chasivya. And they can. This is actually the double pincer, because this is another pincer. This is one pincer. This one pincer, this one pincer, this is another pincer. So that is a double pincer, and on top of that, they are moving north. So this is the Wagner's strategic situation, that what it looks like. So how do the Ukrainians going to counterattack in a way that they are able to defeat this? I would believe that the front line will not change by a lot, and then we will just take that the arrows are still ongoing. The Ukrainians, by the time they do the counteroffensive, they will have forces, at this is Slovyansk, Kramatorsk, then Konstyantynivka. They are at Chasivya, and these are the major points that the Ukrainians have a lot of forces. And I wouldn't be surprised that they actually have a significant number of forces over at Drusivka here. So these are the few that is also being mentioned by Prigozhin. Prigozhin talk about Kramatorsk, Slovyansk, and Konstantinivka having significant Ukrainian forces. So the attack was going to be launched from this kind of region. And the first thing first is that they will have to go down the road and cut off any attempt at attack of the right Alexandrivka. And should right Alexandrivka has fallen, this attack will carry on, and then they will actually break the line and encircle the forces, and this will be what they are doing. And of course, from Liman, they can actually come down and encircle whatever forces that is at right Alexandrivka. And with this done, they will be able to hold the line along the Siversk front, and this is the northern part. And from Kramatorsk region, they will actually reinforce in this way, and they will actually hold the line. They will actually hold the line. It depends on where Chasivya is, at the time. But they'll hold the line. The reinforcement will be sent to hold the line. And then what will be the Ukrainians' best thing to do? They will actually have to go from the south. They have to break through Ozherenivka and retake Klishevka from the south, break the road, go to the rear. And from the north, once this has happened, the supply line has been opened. They can actually do a major push to the rear of Soledar. How they are going to move the force to this area here, of course, is anyone's guess. But the Ukrainian forces over at the Seversk front has been very impressive. They have been very successful at holding back the Russian attacks, and I presume that they will be able to continue to do that. And with that strong defense as a backrock, as a big rock for their offensive, they will be able to send reinforcement in this way, and actually do a push, a punch south, and attack to the rear of Soledar, cut off this road, and then head all the way straight down and cut off this road. And the southern pins, and this will be a massive pincer around the entire of the Wagner forces and the whoever there is supporting the Wagner forces. I think it's the airborne, and then also I think some artillery force as well. So the idea is to hold them. So the push in all this direction is to hold the line, to keep them very busy, and they are unable to disengage. And so just like what Wagner is doing to the Ukrainians, they attack from multiple directions within Bakhmut region, and then they pin down the Ukrainian forces in this area. Same thing, the Ukrainian forces with superior number. Of course, they have to have superior number in order to do this offensive. And typically, of course, we always say that you need to be 3 times more. So I believe they should have, with all this reinforcement, the mobilized troops, like they are all NATO trained, and then they have a lot of Bradley vehicles, a lot of armored vehicles, limited number of tanks, because most of the tanks still need to be maintained and repaired before they can send in. But they're gonna have at least 14 to 18 Leopard 2s, and then they're gonna have X number of AMX 10. That can also be a tank, because that's a tank destroyer. So that can be used also in this offensive, and then to pin down and then break through to the rear, cut off the road, take Vershina, cut the road, and then you can have the massive encirclement, and then you can actually force the Russians into this pockets where they cannot get out, and then you can actually start to grind them in. So you can start, the Ukrainians then can start to grind them inwards, and then make Bakhmut the massive trap that the Ukrainians always like to call it, maybe the Stalingrad of the Ukrainian forces. And this is possible. This is not just the imagination or whatnot. It is possible. It is very hard. I can grant you that it's very, very hard. The Wagner forces have a major defense line. I'm not sure exactly where. I forgot where, but it's actually in the rear, somewhere around this area. I think it's around the Luhansk region, totally all the tiger teeth and whatnot. So that line, the Ukrainians unlikely should go and penetrate through. They shouldn't go this direction and get killed. Hold the line, build the front line with reinforcement going to all these front lines, hold the line, and then with the other forces actually push in and then squeeze the hell out of the Russian forces within the Bakhmut Soledar region. And this is how, if the Ukrainians want to do the counteroffensive in the Bakhmut front, and this is probably how they should do it. There is the likelihood that the counteroffensive is like, oh, go straight in this way, no. If you're going to do that, you're just going to destroy yourself, because you're going into the strongest point of where the Wagner forces and the Russian forces are. You need to go around it. Similarly, the Russian forces, do not push everything in through Bakhmut. They actually go mostly around it. This is usually most of the forces is actually doing that. So similarly, I don't expect the Ukrainian forces to actually penetrate deep straight into the Russian lines and capture Blahodatne or some other towns in between Soledar, like Pihorodne or Bakivka, all around this region. No, I think that's just dreaming. I don't think the Ukrainian forces, even with the reinforcement, is able to just penetrate through in this way. They have to find a weak spot, and I think this area is a weak spot. This area is a weak spot, and because the Russian forces mainly around this area here, so go around it, and I think the Ukrainians can have their famous real victory over the Russian forces. And I think the pro-Russian fans and supporters, or the Russians themselves, will really feel like, yeah, this time round the Ukrainians really won it. Anyway, this is just my analysis of what I think. You can have different views, but it's just want to share how I think the counteroffensive in the Bakhmut can actually be done. But if the Ukrainian forces listen to some stupid ideas to penetrate through in the center like this, yeah, then they are all gonna be wiped out. Then yeah, there's gonna be a failure. Anyway, thank you for watching, and hope you like it, and I'll see you in the next update.